Good morning, everyone. It is a bright and clear Saturday morning. We are walking out to get the side-by-side, load up some vegetables, and put the garden in. You couldn't ask for a much better blue sky day. So instead of talking about it, let's get things rolling. Let's go plant something. We've got all our plants separated into trays as we need them. This is going to be our zucchini. We know exactly where the tomatoes are going to go. I'm just not sure how many of these tomatoes are actually going to go in that one plot, but I think this whole tray will go there. This is our crookneck squash and eggplant. This last tray here is a different variety of zucchini, so we're going to leave it here, come back and get it, and we'll take it down to the big garden. That way we can lay out exactly what we need. It looks like I have overdone it a little bit on zucchini this year. That's okay. We'll just have lots of zucchini if it all comes up, and if it doesn't, we'll work with that too. So let's go plant some vegetables this morning. Well, we've got everything laid out here, so let's just get busy and put them in the ground. Okay, the first two rows are in the ground. That's the zucchini and the eggplant. So we're going to now put the tomatoes in here, as many as we feel like we can put in this reasonably. Let's get those in the ground. So this garden bed is in good shape. We have one last row. You see that one over there, that last one. We'll put the Japanese eggplant over there. We'll make a whole row of that. So this garden is finished with everything we have. We're going to scoot up and put these peppers in the ground, knowing that we need to get more tomatoes for this little small close-in garden. One, two, three, four more tomatoes. Okay. All right, we got a plan. I'm gonna need the hoe for this one. This garden plot, I did not till it at all this year. It has not been turned in any way. That's why I've got to get the hoe down here and loosen up some soil to get these plants in the ground. Let's see, close-in garden 1, garden 2, all finished except for a few tomatoes and one more row of zucchini. Good progress. Let's take a few minutes and see if we can't get this sprinkler hose buried a little bit better up under the plastic so that it does a good job and just doesn't run out in the furrow. Whew. A no fun job. This is no fun, but this one should go a little bit quicker. The plastic is closer to the furrow, so I could make a little trench out here on this one. Now, some of you might be thinking, the first good rain is going to uncover that hose. It's not very deep. And that's probably true. I'm just hoping that the heat and, its position straightened out will give it some memory, and it'll at least lay flat there. That's really the biggest purpose for getting it that close to the beds and getting it in the ground. I guess the best thing now is try to put a little water on everything and let the growing begin. What we've done now is just get everything a good drink of water freshly in the ground. The soaker hoses will come in after today. I'm going to buy a 4 connector for a single hose. So I'll be able to run my hose here, have all 4 of the soaker hose connected and soak them all at one time. So it'll be a time saver. Won't have to be switching hoses. At least that's the game plan. Hopefully it'll work out just like that. So we've planted everything that we bought in the first round. We still have to buy sweet corn for this plot right beside us here. We've got field corn for that small area of field corn. So close in garden 1, garden 2 are done, except for 4 tomatoes. We've got 1 main garden left, and it's the big garden, the furthest away from the house. We're going to go down there and figure out exactly what we want to put in it. We know we need cucumbers. I'm toying with the idea of actually throwing a little sweet corn back in there because it's such a big plot. And we've got a good selection of vegetables in these 2 places. So we'll just see how it works out. We're going to move down there and take a good look at that plot right now. I feel like I really need to come out and take a picture of these beautiful flowers we have growing behind the crepe myrtles. I am just so amazed at that 1 can, and I think it looks like a $5 can of flowers, maybe from Tractor Supply. This is year 3. Turns out to be a pretty good value, I would think. Just wanted you to see those. They're one of my favorite little garden plots. Right here. I think what we'll do is go ahead and use that remnant of sweet corn that we have from last year. We're going to put 6 short rows down here. I don't need quite as many vegetables as it would take to fill in this spot. We still have plenty of room. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows for more vegetables like tomatoes, like cucumbers, whatever we come up with, whatever we can actually find when we go shopping again for plants. So let's just get the sweet corn in the ground and see how that works out. I think that's as good as we're going to get it down here. Just a pure experiment with that sweet corn. It's terribly rocky. It's always questionable if you bury it too deep, it won't come up, but I think we got it in good shape here. Let's go over here and look at what we need for the rest of this garden, and we can make our plans to go buy more vegetables. 1, 2, 3. And with that, I think we're going to cut it right there, call it a wrap for today. We might come back later on this afternoon if we find a couple things we want to do in the garden that makes sense to film. Otherwise, Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you again soon. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Sid's Blue Sky Farm. We have a little bit more planning to do today after spending Saturday getting most of our gardens already completed. Now, we have to get the sweet corn in the ground sometime during this week, but as far as vegetables go, we are nearing the end of that process. But before we do that, I want to show you two quick projects we managed to knock out yesterday. And the first one is right behind me here. I came up with this idea to put a small sprinkler setup in an oddball corner in an area where the plants need water, more so than other plants. These are limelights and they get really dried out, and you don't want to lose them. For very little money, I built this short sprinkler run here. It's one 10-foot pipe, 2 heads, and 1 hose. It's about $6. So I'm going to turn it on and let you see exactly what this thing does and how well it works for what we're trying to do. The really nice thing about this setup is it's very inexpensive and it solves a specific problem. This little corner is tough to manipulate. And like I said, I just do not want to be dragging hoses. So all I got to do is walk out, turn this one on, and away we go. And as you can see, the little pop-up covers the corner well, and the rotating head takes care of a big area that we need to get water on. The next thing I want to show you this morning is how we set up putting water into our drip hoses in the raised beds. I bought this 4 outlet connector, and I just leave my spray nozzle on it to keep anything, dirt or any animals out of the hose until I'm ready to use it. So it's very simple. You just connect your hose to 1 outlet, and these 4 spread the water down the drip hoses in these raised beds. You can see how wet the 2 in the middle are from irrigating already this morning. This is a real time saver. I have to drag the hose this far, but I do not have to stand here and fill up buckets and water this vegetable garden. Now that we have the fence up, we have to use the front gate. And just like that, garden number 5 is in the ground. It's complete. All our vegetables are done except for 1 row of Ichiban zucchini up in the first garden. We still have 7 rows of field corn, which won't be very hard to do, and our big patch of sweet corn that we're probably going to do this weekend. We're going to give that just a little bit more time, let the ground get good and warm. And for the rest of the day, we're going to be mowing. We've got a couple of shrubs to put out. We have to grease the tractor because bush hogging is upon us. It is time to start the bush hog again. And we're going to save you from watching that because you've seen it all before. Maybe we'll show you a little bush hogging later on, but for today and this video, we're going to call it a wrap. I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. Take care. We will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.